Greetings, Justice Seekers. Welcome to Justice, Not Justice, Season 1, Episode 28. So the end of January, early February of 2019 is really interesting. Jamie does not have an attorney, neither does Jeremiah. And yet, so we file a couple of motions. She's still refusing to provide the answers to the interrogatories that we requested, which were due back in like October. I mean, she's way overdue. And these are really important because they show that she's lying about a lot of things, but not the least of which is her income. And about child support because the judge just completely ignored the fact that he can't work and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so in response to this motion, it's a order on to compel her to submit her interrogatories, okay? In response to that, Bangert writes a letter objecting to it, or an objection to it. Now, why? I mean, she's not Jamie's attorney, and what does interrogatories have to do with kids at all? But she did, and so, of course, we had to object to her objection. I'm writing to object Lisa Bangert's letter of January 23rd, objecting to my motion to compel my ex-wife to submit answers to the interrogatories that were served on her in October of 2018. Why would Bangert object to me requesting and receiving information to which I am legally entitled per Wisconsin statute? I'm not asking anything of her. Clearly, she is doing this on behalf of my ex-wife, and in her continued effort to throw wrenches into my fair hearing of my case. The bias continues. Respectfully, Jeremiah Collins. She then responds to that letter saying, in response to Mr. Collins' letter, please note the reasoning to my objecting to his filing proposed orders of any kind without a hearing. Mr. Collins cannot ask the court for orders without due process, regardless of what he's requesting. This is the second time filing this kind of proposed order without setting a hearing date, and my second time objecting. This court continues to be clogged due to Mr. Collins' duplicative and repetitive filings, including those which seek alternative ways to get remedies he wants without a hearing on the merits. These backdoor attempts have to be stopped for the integrity of the issues already properly before the court. So again, why is she doing this? You know, how does this have to do with the best interests of the children? And she's billing, okay? So we had to respond to that, of course, by objecting to her objection. Your Honor, regarding Bangert's letter, first of all, this case has no integrity and never has. I was police escorted out of my residence more than a year ago with only the clothes on my back because of the false domestic violence report that my ex-wife filed. The characterization by both my ex-wife and Bangert of me as an abusive, drunk black man has prevailed in this case, and through both of their lies and manipulations, and with the condonement of the court itself. This is a case with no integrity. That being said, if Bangert were genuinely concerned about whether the court file is clogged due to my best pro se efforts to receive a fair and impartial hearing, then rather than continuing to clog the case file herself with ridiculous objections to motions that have nothing to do with her and silly letters of objection, which she could perhaps instead educate me about proper procedures like she does with my ex-wife, even filing motions on her behalf. Instead, her tack is to continue to criticize me at every turn and peg me as someone who is trying to be shady and sneaky. I'm trying to represent myself to the best of my ability. If I don't do things properly, I don't need to be chastised or punished for it. A better, more empathic approach would be to simply teach a brother how to do it. But Bangert hates me. There is no secret about that. So it's no surprise that she chooses instead to continue to degrade me and clog the case file herself, and continues to run up my tab in the process. Respectfully. Okay. I don't know what Judge Carroll's doing with this information. I have no idea if she's reading it. I have to feel that she's not, but whatever. I mean, based on future interactions in front of Judge Carroll, you would think that she's either not reading it, which that's a problem, and or she's ignoring it, and or siding with Bangert. So I don't think I have to point out the obvious, but I'm going to. You can see the power that this woman has, this Bangert, because she's really running this trial. Okay, so in the meantime, early February, I think it was the 8th of 2019 specifically, Jamie filed yet another restraining order against Jeremiah. Okay. It was not accepted. It was set for hearing. Okay. I don't remember the date of the hearing right off the top of my head. It's in CCAP. And Bangert sends Jeremiah this email. Remember, at this point, he can't see his kids, right? So, so she filed it on the 8th. It got uploaded the 9th, 10th, whatever. A few days later, on February 13th, Bangert sends Jeremiah this email. Now, we already know at this point that Jeremiah is not communicating with her. And we all know about how he feels about her and how she feels about him. But she sends him this email. Given the temporary restraining order in place and the evidence of the need for services, I am recommending you take an anger management class as well as attend a program for batterer's intervention. First of all, there is no temporary restraining order in place. It's not been determined yet. He's smart enough to stay away, obviously, because, you know. Evidence for the need of services. What is it? The fact that he's trying to get a fair hearing, the fact that he's trying very hard to be heard, that's suggesting that he has anger management, as well as attend a program for batterer's intervention. Nobody has been able to prove or demonstrate that he is a batterer. She is just going down and filing restraining orders. So he's a batterer because she's doing that? Who's the batterer? Who is the batterer? Why is she making this recommendation? But now this is a GAL recommendation. So, oh yeah, you think that's not gonna get inserted with a vengeance into the narrative of this case? Oh yes, it was already alluded to and spoken to some degree with specificity, but now it's official. Jeremiah needs anger management classes and needs to attend a program for batterer's intervention. What does Jamie need to do? Nothing. He responds, fuck you and your batterer intervention, anger management bullshit, bitch. You're the fucking batterer. I don't care if that is appropriate or not. At this point, she is being met with the level of respect that she deserves, and that's the kind of respect that she deserves. She deserves zero respect, none. In response, you have serious anger issues. It is obvious and needs to be addressed. The children are not safe with you or anyone who would allow you to talk this way. Wow. I mean, my stomach just turns at that. The children are not safe with you if you swear, okay? And you're with somebody who's allowing you to swear, okay? And your children aren't safe not only with you who's swearing, but with this other person, i.e. Kristen, who's allowing you to swear. Since when is swearing creating safety issues for children? Since when? And I don't allow people to talk anyway. People talk however they're gonna talk. This is remarkably, it makes my stomach turn. I'll see you soon.